compromises to solve the issues. We're in an election year, so they don't want to. They're putting politics before people. We have someone here who does not do that. I am going to introduce our legislator, Arnie Drucker, so that he can talk to you about this community and why we're all here.
Thank you, everybody. You know, it's only less than 2 months ago that I was standing here with most of you in my own election. And it really gratifies me that Tom has chosen to have this office again as one of the key portions of his re-election. And this is a re-election for him, by the way. You know, I have to tell you, Tom embodies the best qualities a politician in America should have. He's empathetic. He's fair-minded. He actually listens to people when they talk. He's smart. He's experienced. These are things that his opponent does not have, and trust me, I know. So it really is, but you know, I've said before in many elections in my political career, this is the most important election we've had. This is the most important election. This is the defining election. This is it. And we couldn't have a better representative of the values, the democratic values that we stand for. And picking this particular, in my opinion, this area that I represent, I live for my whole life, Plainview, Syosset, Woodbury, Jericho, Oyster Bay, Old Bethpage, it's a bastion of democratic voters, a bastion of it. It's a wealth, but we need to get them out. And you know, all of us in elected office, we're so beholden and grateful for the volunteers, all of you. But we need you now more than ever. Because we know how you all feel about Tom Suozzi, but we need to get everyone else out there to recognize that he represents how our democracy is going to be going forward. Without Tom, we are in trouble. This is it. Thank you.
Our state chairman, Jay Jacobs.
I'm going to be brief. Hey, Amber. I'm going to be brief. I want you to know something. I know what winning campaigns look like. And looking around this room, this is what a winning campaign is. I'm not going to add to all the nice things that have been said about Tom. We left out modesty. and I just want you to know that he and I have been friends a long time. This is the kickoff to the 2024 general election. Don't mistake it. That's what's happening here. The eyes of the nation are on the 3rd Congressional District here in Nassau County. And what happens here will be more than electing a Democrat to the House of Representatives. It will be sending a message from the East Coast to the West Coast and everywhere in between, that the tide has turned, and so will the course of this country, because it's going to start turning Democratic, starting right here. I'll end with this. It's what I say in campaigns all the time. Those of you who've heard it before, I apologize. But I think it really encapsulates what we're doing. So many times you're going to be knocking on doors. You're going to be speaking to people on the phone. And voters won't really know who to vote for. You know, it's confusing to them. They're not in the know the way we are. And they say, well, you know, the Republicans and the Democrats, they're all the same. What's the difference? And I tell them it's simply this. Very, very simple. Everything you need to know about politics, you found out when you first learned how to drive a car. If you want to go forward, you put it into D. You want to go backwards, you put it into F.
Now we have our chair of the Town of Oyster Bay and vice chair of the Democratic Party, Dave Mahan.
Let's hear it for Tom Suozzi! If you don't think Tom Suozzi can fix anything, if anybody can fix anything, he fixed Nassau County, the worst run county in America, on the verge of bankruptcy, the most corrupt political system in America, the biggest Republican machine. Tom beat it, took it over, and fixed it. We need someone that can go to Washington and get something done. But he's not waiting until he gets to Washington. We have right here in Plainview we have one of our own held hostage in Israel, in Gaza. Tom went there because he wanted to do something about it and get something done. And he went there and visited that family. If you remember 3 years ago yesterday what was going on in the Capitol, Tom was there. And if that makes you mad, if people that say that really didn't happen, it's the FBI's fault, it's a Democratic conspiracy, if that makes you mad, do something about it. Go out, get your friends to put up a lawn sign, come here and do some phone banking, raise money, have a fundraiser, do whatever it is that you can to help get Tom elected. Because if you want to take our country back, we need to take this district back. You know, there's no one I trust more with the future of this country. And those of you, I have a 2-year-old now, I don't know if anyone knows that, but now I really care about what happens. And if anybody can go down to Washington and fix things and deliver for this district and make America a democracy again, it's Tom Suozzi. So take all of the anger that you're feeling. Take all the angst that you feel when you watch TV and you're like, I can't believe this is happening in America. You're here now because you want to do something about it. It's a short sprint to February 13th. Let's get Tom Suozzi elected.
Former Congressman and future Congressman Tom Suozzi.
So, let me just start by thanking everybody that's here today. I'm so grateful to all of you. Let's hear for Jay Jacobs. Let's hear for our former state senator and future Congressman Jim Gordon. Our legislator Ernie Tucker. Town Democratic Chairman Dave Mejias, my good buddy. Where is he? And my good buddy John Kamen just walked in the back. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, let me just listen. This is not a rally, really, okay? Because we got a lot of work to do. We'll do a rally the week before the election. Right now, we got to talk about what's really going on. So, everybody in this room, my family, my friends, the people that are here, the constituents of the 3rd Congressional District, people you know, are worried about what's going on in the country and in the world. It's like nagging at the back of your head every day. You may not be obsessing about it every day, but it's there in the back of your head every day. First time polls show for the past couple of years that parents are concerned that their kids won't make as much money as they did. They're not going to be able to buy a house. They're not going to be able to live the lives that they did. That's new in America. That's been going on for the past few years. People are concerned about the immigration crisis. They see people streaming over the border. They're like, what the heck's going on? Is this going to really blow up on us? What the heck is going on with this? Why can't this thing in the paper that Amanda's talking about front page, about the migrant crisis, okay? And how they can't make a deal on it. People are worried about every time there's a storm, this happens to be a lot, like it's raining, it's like, you see more flooding than usual, and you're like, is this going to be one of those floods again? Is this what, what's with that smoke coming down from Canada? Remember earlier this year when that smoke was like covering the island for days? What's with the, the droughts going out west, and the forest fires, and, the waves and the erosion? What's going on? What's happening? You see the attacks in Israel, they were so gruesome, so awful. People are just, is this really, you look at Ukraine, is Putin really trying to just use the military to go in and take over land of another country in 2023 and 2020? Is that really happening? That's like World War II stuff. Is that really going on? So we're all got in the back of our heads, we watch the TV, we read the newspaper, we look at the stuff on social media, we're like, what's going on? I mean, there's something wrong. Something's broken. And you look to Washington, D.C., and you look to the Congress and say, oh, what are they going to do to help us? They're kicking out the speaker. They can't get a budget together. They're talking about shutting the government down again. What are you doing to address the things that I care about? The things I'm worried about every day. What are you doing to actually fix the problems that I see happening to me and my family and to my country and to this world? What are you doing about it? All you're doing is fighting with each other. Nobody's talking to each other. Everybody's just fighting with each other. So, you guys know me, all right? I've been doing this for a long time. And so I was the mayor of Glen Cove for 8 years. I was the county executive for 8 years. I lost to Ed Mangano. Okay, I ran for governor twice. I got my butt kicked both times. I was in Congress, but I've always tried to fight for people, to try and fix the problems that people face. And 2 years ago, it's only a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, in August of 2022, I turned 60 years old. And in that November, I was like, okay, I lost for governor twice, I got killed, I gave up. I was on the Ways and Means Committee. I was a big shot. I was always thinking I gave it up to run for governor, and everybody knew I couldn't win except for me. And I was like, all right, I got to accept the fact I'm out of politics. I love politics. I love public service. I've done pretty good things in my life to try and help people and solve problems and fix things. But I got to be happy. I got a great wife. I got great children. I got to be happy with my life, accepting the fact that I'm out of politics.
Well, guess what?
And what happened? George Santos became the biggest story in America. And instead of me fighting with everybody, you guys see all the Democratic primaries I've been, I always fight with people, People are calling me up. They're calling me up from Washington, D.C. They said, you got to run. I said, but don't you know me? I'm the guy who's always fighting with everything. No, we need you to run. And I said, well, I've got to be who I am. I got to talk about what I want to talk about. I want to fix the problems, okay? We got to do a bipartisan solution on the immigration crisis. We've been fighting about this for 40 years.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be the Democrats get everything they want, and it's not going to be the Republicans get everything they want. We got to sit down and we got to make a deal, and we got to fix the problems that people care about. So whatever the issue is that we face, here on Long Island, we're freaking out about SALT, the state and local tax deduction. We can't deduct our taxes anymore. You know who that affects? That affects a lot of union families more than anybody else. Between a husband and wife, a teacher and a carpenter, they're making $150,000 a year, $200,000 a year. They can only deduct $10,000 from their income taxes and their property taxes. Not fair. They're the ones hit the hardest. So whatever the issue is, that the environment, whatever the issue is that we're facing, gun safety, whatever the issue is that we face, we got to get people who actually care about other people. It's not worth being, I've been doing this a long time, okay? It's not worth being in politics. It's not worth it for the ego or for the competition. It's only worth it if you're actually fixing problems and helping making people's lives better. And we know we're sick and tired of all the people just fighting with each other and the same old BS. We want to work together. I look at my friends back here from Local 3. Let's hear for Local 3. My grandfather was in Local 3. Put the lights on top of the Empire State Building. And the Local 3 has always stuck with me, okay? Local 3 is like, even when I ran for governor, they supported me. They got a lot of trouble for that, but they... And, are there any carpenters in here? I saw some carpenters at the last meeting I was at. No carpenters? All right, the steam fitters are back there, right? Steam fitter? Plumbers?
Plumbers, yeah.
Someone just told me a plumber was there.
Yeah, they're here. They're here. They're definitely here.
Pick up, plumbers. Anyway, we got so many of the building trade unions, okay, where their leadership says, we got to vote for the Democrats. You got to vote for the Democrats. The Democrats are in favor of unions. Democrats support the PRO Act. Democrats say we got to get some teeth to the NLRB. Democrats are in favor of union order. We got to support the Democrats. But the members, a lot of the members, are not voting for the Democrats because they're sick and tired of not focusing on the stuff that they talk about every day. We got my friends from IATSE, the Broadway stagehands over here, okay? We've got to start talking about the things that everyday people are talking about. We got to get back. I'm going to run as Tom Suozzi, okay? I'm not going to be some thing that's made up thing. I'm going to talk about the things that people care about. And the fact that the Democrats are saying and I'm a Democrat, I'll always be a Democrat. I'm a lifelong Democrat, I'll always be a Democrat. But I'm going to be the Democrat that I believe I should be. And the fact that they're encouraging me to be the candidate is a big deal, because when I get to Washington, I'm going to say the exact same thing. I'm going to say, stop the BS, let's cut some deals, let's help the people. So we got a lot of partners in this room, okay? You're all a part of the partnership, okay? I got the town of Oyster Bay people who ran for supervisor, Jared Baer, Danielle over here, the other council candidates. I got Will Murphy who wants to run for the assembly over here. I've got people that have volunteered for my campaigns for years. I've got Democratic committee people here in the room. I've got unions in the room. We've got to be a partnership, okay? We got to work together, and everybody's got to do their piece, okay? So this headquarters is really for not just here. This is for all of South Oyster Bay, okay? We're not too strong in Levittown. We're not too strong in Massapequa. We're not too strong in Bethpage and Farmingdale. But we're going to have partnerships. So I've asked the electricians to do me a big favor. I've asked the electricians for Takeover Massapequa. They're going to be the Massapequa team. They got so many members. They got so many members throughout the entire district, and we want to get all their members throughout the entire district. But I've asked I've asked the electricians to adopt Massapequa. So the people in Massapequa are going to say, where do all these Suozzi signs come from? Who are all these people volunteer for Suozzi knocking door to door? You know what that is? That's the electricians doing that for us in Massapequa. And we've asked the carpenters to adopt Levittown. Okay? We don't have a big Democratic organization in Levittown. But we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of carpenters in this campaign. And they've agreed to take on Levittown. In fact, the international president of the carpenters for the whole country, a guy named Doug McCarran, is actually coming to Levittown to walk door to door with a rally with 800 carpenters on February 3rd. And they're walking every week between now and then. We've got right here in Plainview, and Old Bethpage, and Jericho, Syosset, Woodbury, that Arnie knows so well. We've got the teachers union. They've got members. We've got teachers throughout the entire district, okay? From one end to the other, from Nassau into Queens, we've got teachers everywhere. Fantastic, wonderful organization. But I've asked them to flood the zone in Jericho, Syosset, Woodbury, Plainview, and Old Bethpage. The SEIU. The SEIU. I've got a 32BJ and 1199. I've asked the SEIU to take over with other partners, Westbury and Newcastle. So I'm not going to go through all the 16 regions we have, okay? But I'm just trying to illustrate to you, okay? If everybody does their piece, if everybody does their region, if everybody does their neighborhood, if everybody puts a sign on their property, if everybody calls their neighbors up, if everybody does their piece of the puzzle, we're going to win this thing, and we're going to win it big. And we're going to send a message to people that the idea of getting away from fighting with each other and instead fighting for the people and to fix things is what's going to make America the place it should be again. So we've got these 16 we got a whole bunch of other stuff going on. We're gonna raise the money, okay? I'm raising the money. We're gonna do the air campaign. We're gonna be on TV, and we're gonna do the mail, and we're gonna do the digital, and we're gonna do the phone call. We got a great air campaign, but you've got to be the ground campaign. You got to be the people that talk to your neighbors and friends and spread the word. I had just had dim sum this morning with Amber. Amber was at dim sum this morning. What's the name of the place we were at this morning? Do you know?
Odyssey,
over in Jericho, okay? We have in our district, almost 20% of our district is Chinese, Korean, Indian, and Pakistani. We're building partnerships in every single one of those communities to make sure that they show up in numbers like they've never shown up before. And Amber's gonna help me do that, right, Amber?
Yes.
Let's hear it for Amber. So the bottom line is that this is not a rally. I need you to go out and work. I need you to take a sign. I need you to call your neighbors. And I don't want the signs all over the public byways. You know why? Because the town of Hempstead, the town of Oyster Bay, the town of North Hempstead, the county employees are going to take them down. Yesterday they had 400 people going door to door. They got the strongest Republican machine in the country, and they're back again. They're back to what it was before I became county executive with Jay's help back in 2001. So we've got to beat them. Okay? But we're only going to beat them by building this type of partnership where we bring all these teams together, working together as a team to beat back the message of the negativity that you're going to see thrown in this race, to beat that back and talk about instead about working together to fix problems to help people. So I don't know who showed up because somebody asked you to show up or who showed up because they were inspired to show up, but whoever's here, if you hear me today and you say, boy, I like what Tom Suozzi's saying, I agree with what Tom Suozzi's saying, I need you to talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, talk to your family members, spread the word. If you hear me today and say, I don't like Tom Suozzi, I just came because my union boss told me to come, or I just came because my neighbor said I had to come to this thing, or I don't really like Tom Suozzi, then I ask you just keep it to yourself. So listen, everybody, we need you. I'm grateful to you. Let's go out and win this thing. Thank you.
Organizer, but before we leave, I want to say one thing. Whether it is 1 hour of your time or 100 hours of your time, it makes a difference, a very big difference. Please, please, before you leave, make sure that you speak to Justin, Jordan, and you also on the wall over here, there's little QR codes that you can use, but make sure you speak to him. If you're not comfortable going door to door, you can call on the phone, but he's going to give you more information about it. But really, really, even if it's just an hour or 100 hours, it really does make a difference. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here today.
Thank you, Amanda.
Whoever does 100 hours is a private winner.
Please, yes. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming. It is so good that we got everybody in this room. I know that there is some water coming out of the sky today, but the election is not going to get delayed because of that. So we do need the help of every single person in this room to win this election. We are going to knock doors today and every day between now and February 13th. So if you have not already signed up to knock doors, we got my colleagues in the field department at the entrance. We got Connor, we got Barry, we got Sarah, we got Jordan. Please see one of them. Sign up to knock doors today or any day between now and February 13th. Sign up to make phone calls. Sign up to tell your friends about the election because that is how we will win. Let's do it.
Please sign up. Please sign up. Thank you.